Welcome to the Brian Craig Show podcast. My name is Brian Craig, and the Brian Craig Show is brought to you by Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting and Roofing. If you're in the state of Florida and you need roof replacement or repair, Tom Laporta is your guy. He's a good MAGA guy, and he'll never sell you a roof you do not need. Online at laportaroofing.com. Okay. Everything that's going on with Trump is amazing. I'm calling it MAGA Christmas, and that's what it is. It's MAGA Christmas is going on. So many beautiful, great things are happening. And I wanted to talk about something that CBS News broke. I mean, when's the last time I've seen CBS News break news? I don't know if CBS has broke news in my lifetime, but they did today, at least a little bit. And it involves the southern border. Make no mistake about it. Our country was being invaded. And sadly, it was an invasion that was being organized by our own government. And we found out when Doge exposed USAID that a lot of what was going on at the southern border was very specifically the organization down in South and Central America was being funded through USAID. And this is Elon Musk exposed this, which, that's crazy. We knew that they were letting it happen, but did we know that USAID was funding it? And I talked a lot during the 4 years of the Biden regime. I talked a lot. I said, the movement of people from deep down in South America, through Central America, through Mexico to our southern border is a very large movement of people. There has to be organization. There has to be a supply chain. You see the caravans on television. They've got food, water, and some type of portable bathroom facilities, or there would be a line of garbage and human waste all along the way. And when you see them enter the United States, they look pretty clean for people that have supposedly walked however far from South America through Central America, through the deserts of Mexico to Texas or California or Arizona, right? And I thought, well, we know that the Chinese are shipping the fentanyl to Mexico. The cartel picks it up at the ports in Mexico, and the cartel is putting the Chinese fentanyl on the illegals that are walking in. So I assumed that China was behind the movement. And I assume that because, China, I should look this up because I've referenced this so many times, I always forget. But, China has those areas where they have those massive cities of slave factories where they make iPhones and stuff, right? All our products. And there's a Chinese holiday where all the workers go home. And every year, it is the largest migration of humans in history every year that do this. And the Chinese know how to move people like nobody else. Maybe India, but China, because they do it through. So I thought there were some people from China that were working through this whole way, organizing this. And we find out it's the United States through USAID. Isn't that terrible? Our own country was invading us, which means there's a whole lot of criminal activity involved in that. But anyway, President Trump shut down USAID and Tom Homan and Border Patrol and everything else. Christy, they're all on the job and things are happening. So I want to share this with you. This is a report from CBS News. CBS News had a reporter embedded with the Border Patrol along the El Paso part of the southern border, which is an area that's been overrun with illegals these last 4 years. And this is a CBS reporter embedded with the Border Patrol along El Paso. Listen.
It is quiet here at the U.S.-Mexico border, where illegal crossings are down by more than 90% from the same time last year. In fact, over the weekend, the Department of Homeland Security reported the lowest single-day tally in migrant crossings here in 15 years. And we have been riding with Border Patrol agents here in the El Paso sector of the border, which covers West Texas and New Mexico. And we have yet to see a single migrant. We have seen Border Patrol agents, Department of Defense.
Did you hear that? Not a single illegal.
A single migrant. We have seen Border Patrol agents, Department of Defense personnel, including National Guard troops and vehicles and barriers, but no single migrants or asylum seekers yet. And officials here tell us that the reason behind this dramatic drop in illegal immigration is the new administration's tougher immigration policies. They credit the Trump administration's immigration crackdown for this dramatic drop in illegal immigration here. Those policies include a new measure that allows agents to quickly expel migrants back to Mexico without any sort of asylum processing, which has been a right for migrants under U.S. law. That is currently suspended, and many migrants are now being summarily expelled back to Mexico without any chance to request asylum. And amid this drop, the administration is now also considering reinstating a policy known as Title 42 that would allow officials to cite public health concerns to also expel migrants back to Mexico or to their home countries.
Isn't that amazing? I mean, we've got our country back. We've got a lawful government, because before what we had was a government of outlaws. Let's face it, a government of outlaws who was taking part in a very organized invasion of the United States. And not only were they doing that, they were doing it with purpose. It was done purposely because they had an agenda, and their agenda was to, well, we know what it was. I don't have to go through what it all was, but you know what it was, and it's been stopped. And, this re-election of President Trump in this second and non-consecutive term is been the savior, not just for this country, but all of Western civilization, as you see these things happening around the world.
This is Dr. Philip Appleton. I'm a chiropractic physician. I've seen thousands and thousands of patients in my career. I've been a chiropractic physician here in Pompano Beach for 40 years. We're open 6 days a week. If you have sciatica, you have bursitis, you have tendinitis, you're tired of taking the pills, the drugs, the injections, and you heard that you have to live with it. Well, there's a lot of times you don't have to live with it. I've had great success with helping people. My testimonials are marvelous with patients. They love the treatment because no injections, there's no medication, there's no surgery, there's none of that. It's strictly either the laser or the acupuncture I do or shockwave therapy I do. Open 6 days a week. Come in for the free consultation and be willing to look at you and help you.
Take advantage of that no-charge consultation with Dr. Appleton. Remember, appointments are not necessary and walk-ins are welcome even on Saturdays. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710 and online, AppletonChiro.com. Now, here in Florida, MAGA traitor Ron DeSantis is term limited. Governors can only serve 2 terms in Florida. So he couldn't get elected anyway for a third one. People are here in Florida are pretty upset with him. And Byron Donalds officially announced he's running for that spot. And very bizarre. Casey DeSantis, who's Ron DeSantis's wife, has been announcing she's going to run, and DeSantis even endorsed his wife to run for governor of Florida. Here's Byron Donalds last night on Fox.
All right, if you want to make any announcements to make, is it truth? I mean, you got the support of President Trump. Where do you stand? Are you ready to make the plunge?
Well, look, Sean, after a lot of prayer, a lot of thoughts with my family and my friends, I'm here to announce my candidacy to be the next governor of the great state of Florida. Yeah. And,
that is amazing. Byron Donalds is a rock star. He's very MAGA, very popular. He will win. There's no one else in Florida that could run for governor that would even come close. Okay. And he's going to be our governor, and he'll be our governor for 8 years. And then he might become the senator if Rick Scott, we've got Rick Scott, and then Marco Rubio gave up his seat, so who knows what will happen there. But Rick Scott may retire. He was our governor for 8 years. He's been senator for a while. But Byron Donalds is setting himself up to run for president or vice president in the future. And, the Republican establishment, it's not that they've all gone away and they've disappeared, but they're a very small group now. The Republican establishment is really a small minority in the Republican Party. The MAGA movement is now the establishment. Can we agree with that? I mean, I think so. And we have so many young people, so far as politicians go, right? We have so many young people in political circles that are holding senior positions in the MAGA movement, the Trump cabinet. You can see that. And, Dan Bongino, when Dan Bongino was done being the deputy director of the FBI, do you think he's going to go back to podcasting and radio? Or is he going to run for Congress? He ran for Congress and lost before he went into the radio podcasting business. We have such a great team of up and coming people in the MAGA movement, and it's really solidifying the future. The Tea Party, when the Tea Party came around, the problem with the Tea Party was very good, but the problem with the Tea Party was it didn't have a leader. Right? Didn't have a lead. It was a leaderless movement. There were Tea Party people like Alan West and many members of Congress, most of which have faded away, but there wasn't like one leader. It wasn't really organized. And that's why the establishment were able to defeat it. And what President Trump has done with the MAGA movement is he's been able to grow it and bring in so many new young people, again, young in the terms of holding elected office, in top positions in it. Okay, and it's absolutely amazing, and I will be as a Floridian, I'm going to be very active in my support and open of my support of Byron Donalds for whatever that means, and I know he's incredibly popular in Florida. We don't have anyone who's going to run that's that popular. He's going to have opponents, and there'll probably be other Republicans. What a lot of people don't understand about Florida, the Florida Republican Party, so far as the elected officials that are in our state capital, are Bush Republicans, and they have a lot of power. Remember, they changed the law so DeSantis could run for president against Trump in the primaries without resigning being governor of Florida. So they're very, very rhino. They were just trying to obstruct Tom Homan and ICE in Florida. So they're going to put people up against Byron Donalds, but Byron Donalds is going to win it. And you can see DeSantis. I mean, this idea that his wife is going to be governor is just stupid. And he's attacking Ron DeSantis is attacking Byron Donalds, endorsing his. And I don't expect a man to go against his wife, who thinks she's going to run for governor. But wouldn't you talk some sense into your wife if you were him? What an embarrassment. And he's already working against Byron Donalds, who he says not a native Floridian. Byron Donalds came to Florida when he was 17. Very few Floridians are from Florida. I moved to Florida when I was 11. My wife, Kathy's a native Floridian. My daughter's a native Floridian. But a huge chunk of our population, of course, is from somewhere else. And him coming here at 17, I mean, I would like it if he was here when he was younger and spent more of his youth in Florida. But so what? I don't care. And, Florida, the power that Florida has in national politics is at such an amazing level, right? The president's a Floridian now. We've got the president, Kash Patel, Bongino, Pam Bondi, Byron Donalds. America's being run by Floridians. And Florida has really become not just the center of power for Republican politics, but Florida is about to become the most populated state in the next few years too. But there's been a lot of talk that Florida, and during the lockdown period, that Florida is the model of how states should be run. We have no state income tax. Ron DeSantis, he's backing his wife, and he's also running for president at the same time. And he came out with something the other day, which is very popular. And it's something he kind of took the gem of the idea from President Trump on what he's doing with no tax on tips. In Florida, we have no income tax. Okay, I know a lot of you guys in other states have state income taxes. Not only do we not have a state income tax in Florida, it specifically says in the Republic or the Florida State Constitution that there cannot be a state income tax. But we do have property taxes with a homestead exemption clause. And Ron DeSantis said this week that he wants to end property taxes. And people are like, well, how would you fund things? How would you fund things? Well, he's put together his own version of Doge at the Florida state level. And we do have a lot of tourism, and which makes a lot of money. So, I support that because my property tax is a lot of money. I mean, it's a lot of money. It's not cheap. It used to be a lot lower. It used to be a lot lower. But it's gotten higher over the years that I lived in the house, and everyone's going to be in favor of that. But that doesn't mean that he and his wife are going to be able to pull off an election victory for her. I hope Byron Donalds picks up on that. I want to tell you guys about MyPillow. The free shipping offer is still in effect at MyPillow.com. It's free shipping on all orders, no matter how small. There's no catches. It's not on minimum orders. It's on all orders. I just checked this morning. With our promo code Kane, of course. So you get this incredible savings. Like right now, the 6-piece MyPillow towel set is just $29.98. That's $40 off. Plus you get free shipping. That's huge. The Percal bed sheets, $39.98 plus free shipping. The MyPillow that started it all is just $14.98 plus free shipping. All, of course, with our promo code Kane at checkout. The MyPillow My Slippers are $90 off, just $59.98 plus free shipping. And it's that way site-wide, okay? There's huge specials going on right now at MyPillow.com. You can take advantage of all the specials at MyPillow.com with our promo code Kane. The flannel sheets are $44.98 with our promo code Kane, plus free shipping. Those are normally $99.98, and you have to pay for shipping. So huge deals site-wide. You can use our promo code Kane on all the specials at MyPillow.com, not just the ones I mentioned, but it is free shipping on all orders site-wide with our promo code Kane at checkout as well. And remember, when you use our promo code Kane, Kane, at checkout at MyPillow.com, you're supporting my podcast here. You're also supporting my YouTube channel and the radio show with Steve Kane, and it's greatly appreciated. Thank you for your support, all right? Promo code Kane, Kane, at checkout at MyPillow.com. All right, we'll take our first break and come back. There's much more to share. I'm Brian. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this. Success, passion, a work-life balance. How do people make it all work? The Mark Howley Show answers these questions and more, bringing you powerful stories from professionals who've overcome obstacles, built thriving careers, and found purpose along the way. The Mark Howley Show covers everything from tackling addiction to reshaping education. Every episode uncovers the real how and why behind inspiring journeys. Are you ready for insight, motivation, and game-changing conversations? Then add The Mark Howley Show to your podcast playlist on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube. Personal development, career insights, and inspiring stories of overcoming adversity. That's The Mark Howley Show. Start listening right now. Unleash your potential and equip yourself with elite sports and fitness gear built for champions, and take your game to the next level with SimpleStrength.store. Start with their breathing trainer respirator. Whether you're an athlete, a singer, or just want to improve your endurance, this powerful device strengthens your lungs, boosts your stamina, and enhances your overall performance. You can increase lung capacity without exhausting workouts. Adjust the resistance to match your fitness level. It's compact and portable too, so you can train anywhere, anytime. You'll breathe stronger, perform better, and feel the difference. You'll also find everything you need for running, sports, fitness equipment for your home, and much, much more. And at SimpleStrength.store, free shipping on all orders, site-wide. That's right, free shipping. So what are you waiting for? Gear up with performance-enhancing sports and fitness equipment designed for champions just like you with SimpleStrength.store. Step into the shadows where elegance meets the extraordinary with Polluted Petunia Art on Etsy. At Polluted Petunia Art, every piece tells a story that's woven in darkness and beauty. From Gothic illustrations to haunting Victorian elegance, the collection is crafted for those who dare to be different. At Polluted Petunia Art on Etsy, you'll find mystical Gothic art, Tim Burton-inspired creations, black and white elegance with a dark twist. Each print and masterpiece is a portal to the unknown, designed to captivate and mesmerize. Whether you're seeking Gothic wall art that whispers secrets of the past or dark fantasy prints that ignite your imagination, Polluted Petunia Art is your gateway to the macabre. Dare to embrace the darkness. Shop now and transform your world before these one-of-a-kind creations vanish into the night. Online at pollutedpetuniaart.etsy.com. That's pollutedpetuniaart.etsy.com. Darkness never looks so beautiful. pollutedpetuniaart.etsy.com.
You are listening to The Brian Craig Show podcast, broadcasting from sunny South Florida. Brian is joined by his wife and co-host, Kathy. Follow Brian on social media at briancraigshow.com. And now, Brian and Kathy.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. And, of course, it's the Brian Craig Show podcast. Make sure you follow and subscribe on whatever platform you're listening on. So Trump had his big cabinet meeting today. It was the first one. And I'm going to play one clip, then I'll talk more about the whole thing. But this is a quick clip. And this clip really, I think, is the biggest takeaway from the whole cabinet meeting, at least the part that was televised, which really was quite a long time. The entire cabinet was there, and Elon Musk, which we'll get to in a minute. But listen, this is the president.
The European Union's it was formed in order to screw the United States. I mean, let's be honest.
That's right.
The European Union was formed in order to screw the United States. That's the purpose of it. And they've done a good job of it, but now I'm president.
What will happen if these countries or the EU retaliate?
They can't. I mean, they can try, but they can't.
China did. They
are
imposed
pledging to,
tariffs
sir.
That are...
Okay, that's it. That's it. That's it. And, I know people on the left, and a lot of you on the left, you think that what I'm going to share with you, this is the way you think, that America's not a great country and America's arrogant and everything. America is a great country. And those of you who don't think that it is, some of you, it's your fault. You're just terrible people. But a lot of you, you've been so brainwashed in our media, in our movies, our music, and our education system. I was lucky to go to school in the 70s and the 80s, elementary school and high school. And there was we had Ronald Reagan in the 80s. And, when we had the bicentennial in 1976 was a great time. And that's when there was even after Vietnam, there was this surge of patriotism, but that's been gone because these lunatics have taken over the education system. This is one of the reasons President Trump is shutting down the Department of Education, because the Department of Education has been misused to set up indoctrination centers in our public education system. The universities have been these liberal lunatic asylums for a long time, but at least they were adults, young adults. And a lot of people, when they graduate college and get out in the real world, they immediately snap out of that. But what they started doing, and this was mostly during Obama, but Obama in his generation of kids that grew up under Obama, they became teachers, and they turned pre-K through 12th grade into the lunatic asylums and the liberal indoctrination centers that the colleges had been all those years. And what President Trump says here is, they can't retaliate because, and the reason that is because America is number one. We're not just a great country. We are the best country in the world. And people say, well, what do you mean? Best for who? The liberals. Best for who? What about this? What about that? What about this thing? Well, first off, most of what you say when you point to things like that either was a long, long time ago, or you're hallucinating. Okay, this is the greatest country in the world. We're also the most diverse country in the world. We're the only major nation in the world that's had a black leader. There's been black leaders of countries, but they've not been a major country like the United States. And, this is the most diverse country in the world. And we're diverse, not just with skin color, but religion and all these things. And when you have a country as diverse as ours is, and everything that you can point to in diversity, and everybody's an American, and it's amazing. We had 4 years of Biden and 8 years of Obama, but you could argue 12 years of Obama. wrecking the American economy, and we're still the largest economy in the world. We're the most powerful nation in the world, both militarily and economically. And these countries around the world, what are they going to, they can't compete with us. And Donald Trump, the European Union, he says, was set up to screw the United States. That's true. And the European Union's economy is about what the United States is. All those little tiny countries that do nothing but suck off of us and rip us off and screw us over and brought slavery to the New World and everything. We didn't bring slavery. We ended slavery. The Europeans started it here in the New World. They are out to destroy us. And it's about time that we have a president who's not afraid to say it. And we're really in a new phase. I was on Newsmax on Wendy Bell's show over the weekend. I hope you got it. If not, you can catch it on the Newsmax website. Look up Wendy Bell's page on the Newsmax website, and you can watch that show. And what happened with that, when I was on that show, we were talking about the patriotism's back. And they went to me and I said, it's morning in America again, which was a phrase of Ronald Reagan, of course. But it's true. It's morning in America. America's back. And a lot of these people that are so pro-American, I think they always were. I give you a great example. Tim Cook is making a $500 billion investment to move Apple manufacturing to the United States. And he's not alone. There's a lot of companies that are doing it. And the reason that Tim Cook is doing this for Apple and these other companies that are doing it, and there'll be more are doing it, is because of the tariffs, the import taxes that the left were so against. The left always want to raise taxes, but if you raise taxes on these foreign countries, all of a sudden, taxes cause prices to go. Well, what do you think taxes do when you raise them here? But Trump's tariffs is what's bringing all this business here, because if you're in the United States, there's no tariff, right? Which is fantastic. And that's what you want. And what President Trump is doing is not only awesome and great, it's working. And here we are just like a month into his administration, and we can see what's going on. Here's another story. This is in the Washington Times today. BP to slash spending on net zero ventures as it focuses on oil and gas again. Now, I was not aware that BP was not focusing on oil and gas. Well, BP stands for British Petroleum, right? They're an oil company. British energy company, BP, confirmed today that it would slash spending on green ventures and increase its oil and gas production, a change in direction that it hopes will bolster its share prices. But it's been met with climate action campaigners. In a statement titled Reset BP said it will reduce its spending on net zero transition businesses by $5 billion a year, up to $2 billion. By contrast, it said it would increase its investment in oil and gas production by $10 billion. So, this green stuff is fake. It doesn't work. The reason that they push this green stuff is because, there's a number of reasons. One of them is they have these scams with the government. If you remember when Obama was president, they had that, what was the name of that green company? Was it Solyndra, if I remember correctly? One of these green companies got raided by the feds. It had taken all this money and, it's fake. It's a money grab. It's a fake industry. And I'll tell you, these oil companies that were involved in it, green crap drives up the price of oil. And these oil companies, believe it or not, they like the green stuff because it drives up their product. They'd rather sell their product for twice what it should be selling it for because they make more profit, right? That's what it. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of the green movement was funded by big oil companies. Like BP has been spending a boatload of money. But from a government level, it's a lot of stealing, like we saw with Doge's exposure of USAID. A lot of the Green New Scam is what President Trump called the Green New Deal. It was a money grab. But also a lot of it's pushed by China because China has no oil. And they're pushing electric vehicles, and they're even releasing a lot and building a lot of cheap green vehicles, EVs, because they want the world on EVs because they don't have oil. And there's a lot of that in play, but it doesn't work. It's stupid, and that doesn't mean you shouldn't get a Tesla. I mean, Elon Musk drives a Tesla, and I like him a lot. But And it's what President Trump says. If you want an electric car, go get one. I mean, I don't have one for a number of reasons, but one of the reasons I don't have one is because after the hurricanes in Florida, when there's been flooding, they've had battery issues, right? Like they catch on fire and come with people in them, things like this. So that's not really a safe thing to have in Florida where we have hurricanes and you can possibly have floods. I don't like that. And I don't like to have to worry about a battery charge. If I got enough to get here or get there, I could, if you follow me on YouTube, it's not unusual for me to drive to the gas station when my car says I have 1 to 3 miles left. It's not unusual. It happens all the time. It's a bad habit I have. I've always had it. And I don't know if that habit would change if I had an electric. It's just not for me. But if you want one, go get one. But what they were doing was trying to wean us off of them and force people to buy them and transition into it. And I'm not going to go through the whole argument against the green stuff, but it wasn't because of the environment. The footprint for those cars is equal, if not greater, to a regular car. It's a big money grab. Everything the Democrats propose is a money grab, okay? The Democrats are an organized criminal operation. But this thing with BP would not be happening if it was not for Trump. And he talked today that they're getting ready to announce a lot of new drilling, which will bring gas prices down, which will start to bring the prices down in the stores. Now, another thing about the cabinet meeting, the last few days, the media have just been having meltdowns that Elon Musk was going to be in the cabinet meeting. And he was there today. And they even asked him questions. A big part of the cabinet meeting involved Elon Musk actually getting up and talking quite a bit. But the cabinet, I talked about this this morning, okay? The cabinet members sit at the big table, okay? They sit at the big table with the president, and along the wall are a bunch of people. Some of them are household names, people not just like Elon Musk. I saw Peter Navarro and others. They sit in chairs along the wall around the whole room, and they're there. Every cabinet meeting is like that. And that's where Elon was. He was over against the wall at the far end of the table. Okay. And he sat there. Now, of course, President Trump asked him questions. He talked to the cabinet and the press were asking him questions. And this meltdown that's been going on the last couple of days over Elon Musk being in the cabinet meeting, it's stupid, isn't it? It is stupid. It makes no sense. Why would they be upset at that? Well, the reason is because he's cutting off their money, right? We have the richest man in the world working for us, and he's volunteering. That's an amazing thing, right? He's the richest man in the world, by far the second richest man. He's twice as rich as the second richest man. And he was in the cabinet meeting and nothing happened, just some questions. And the media afterwards, when they were discussing the cabinet meeting, they seemed to have forgotten that they were putting this big stink up for the last couple days that Elon was going to be in the cabinet meeting. They seem to have forgotten all about that. Yeah, I know. Now, what's going on at MSNBC, who really knows exactly, right? What's going on at MSNBC? So it was announced early this morning that Rachel Maddow's staff are going to be laid off. And this is what's going on with her. She's doing 5 days a week again, not just Mondays, but that's temporary. She's going to go back to 1 day a week with her multi-million-dollar salary, and they're going to put Jen Psaki on from Tuesday to Friday. And, here's the thing. NBC, all these changes they're making at MSNBC are just temporary. They're either selling it or deciding if they're going to sell it or not. But NBC, they got this one weirdo they put on the weekend that everyone's talking about. What they're doing at MSNBC has nothing to do with, okay, this is some new format and we're taking the world by storm. For some reason, they got rid of some people. I don't know why exactly. But they're not revamping with these staff changes and day part changes and everything else. It's like, okay, now we got MSNBC how we want it. This is just temporary for them to either shut it down, sell it, or fire everyone and rebrand it. And really, it's not rebrandable as news. They really should take it off the air and turn it into a cooking channel or something. It would do better as a cooking channel than any type of news, because that brand is completely destroyed. But Megyn Kelly was talking about Rachel Maddow, and she She just gave, I thought, the best description of what Rachel Maddow is. She's just so self-important, such a self-inflating ego. She thinks that she is Megyn Kelly didn't say this part. I've said this about Rachel Maddow for a long time. Rachel Maddow believes that she is intellectually superior to everyone. She thinks she is the smartest person in the room, in every room she's in, no matter who is in the room with her. And it really is amazing the ego that this woman has. She's in the last 10 years since Trump came down the escalator, every story she's reported has been debunked as false. She has not reported a true story in at least 10 years. Every position she's taken has been debunked and she's been wrong for the last 10 years. So now, no one is always right. I'm not always right. Okay, but I think I'm right most of the time. But she hasn't been right on anything, and everything she's been wrong about it. Well, it's everything she's broadcast for 10 years, and that's not an exaggeration. And even with being wrong on everything, she's still put on this pedestal in her own mind as the oracle of all knowledge and wisdom that involves politics. They bring her on for analysis. How can you bring someone on for analysis who's wrong on all their analysis for 10 years? It makes no sense. Now, I want to remind you guys, MyPillow, the free shipping offer is still in effect. I just checked. It's site-wide. And these are incredible savings because not only do you get the free shipping, you get the specials too. And there's huge discounts going on right now at MyPillow.com. Now, of course, this is all with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. The mega sale is going on. You can get the MyPillow that started it all for $14.98 with our promo code Kane, and that comes with free shipping. The MyPillow towels, $29.98. That's $40 off. Plus, you get free shipping. The flannel sheets, just $44.98. That's $55 off and free shipping. Everything is, it just is incredible. The MyPillow, My Slippers, normally $149.98 or just $59.98. That's a $90 discount plus free shipping. All of these specials and free shipping is with our promo code Kane at checkout. There's even MyPillow socks made right here in the USA as low as $4.15 a pair. And, of course, free shipping. The pet beds, just $39.98. We have these. Your pets will love them. And free shipping site-wide. You can use our promo code Kane on all the specials at MyPillow.com, not just the ones that I talk about. Okay, so promo code Kane, Kane. All right, my name is Brian Craig. You're listening to the Brian Craig Show podcast. We'll take a quick break and be right back. Don't go anywhere. Dreaming of your next getaway? Whether it's the romance of Paris, the adventure of Sydney, or the charm of London, your perfect trip starts at thegoway.com. Thegoway.com is the best travel site in 2025, comparing the best deals from top travel brands so you get unbeatable prices on your flight, your hotel, and more. Looking for something unique? Discover breathtaking destinations and book your dream vacation in just a few clicks. With hassle-free transportation and accommodations, all you have to do is pack your bags. London, Rome, Sydney, Paris, Dubai. Book your unforgettable dream vacation right now at thegoway.com.
Hey guys, it's Kathy, and I wanted to tell you about my sticker shop, stickersbythesea.com. Here you'll find original designs by me that I hope you'll really like. They're vinyl stickers, easy to peel, and they look great on Kindle, Stanley Cup, your journal, anywhere you'd want to put a sticker. So please check it out today, stickersbythesea.com. Thank you.
Experience the mystery, elegance, and soothing power of Dark Night candles. Only at candlesbyross.com. Handcrafted with care by Ross, the creator of the Dark Night candle line. These luxurious candles are designed to ease anxiety, relieve stress, and bring a serene glow to your home. Each flame represents resilience, strength, and quiet sophistication, infused with deep, evocative fragrances. Dark Night candles are eco-friendly and handmade with care in the charming village of Grays Lake, Illinois. They're perfect for those who love modern luxury with a touch of mystique. Right now, enjoy free shipping and an exclusive exclusive buy two, get one free offer. No code needed. Shop the entire Dark Night candle collection today at candlesbyross.com. Let their glow bring warmth and serenity to your space. The Dark Night Candle Collection, where modern craftsmanship meets legendary spirit. Order now at candlesbyross.com. Have you been searching for premium supplements that truly pack a punch? Your search is over with bulkbullysupplements.com. Bulkbullysupplements.com have everything you're looking for, from protein and nutrition to pre-workout and recovery supplements. And they source only the top brands from the United States and Canada, like Anatomy Labs, NutriFit, My Cookie Dealer, and many, many more. Make sure you check out their creatine gummies. They're 2 gummies packed with 5 grams of creatine, and their protein coffee is filled with 180 milligrams of caffeine, plus 15 grams of protein. Nothing else hits like it. They're family owned and operated in British Columbia, and they're not your average supplement store. They offer products you can't find anywhere else, including the hardest hitting pre-workouts on the market. They offer free shipping in the United States on orders over $120. And in Canada, it's free shipping on orders over $125. Download the Bulk Bully Supplements app in the Google Play and Apple App Store for faster ordering, rewards. There's even a buy now, pay later option. And follow Bulk Bully Supplements on Instagram and Facebook so you can stay updated on new products and deals. BulkBullySupplements.com. Premium supplements for all your needs. Fuel your journey. Start shopping right now. BulkBullySupplements.com.
You are listening to the Brian Craig Show podcast, broadcasting from sunny South Florida. Brian is joined by his wife and co-host, Kathy. Follow Brian on social media at BrianCraigShow.com. And now, Brian and Kathy.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig, and oh boy, the cabinet meeting got really good. Hegseth came in, and I want to share with you what Pete Hegseth did, because it was amazing. But I first want to thank all of our Patreon supporters for their support of the program. And remember, when you're a Patreon supporter, you have access to commercial-free editions of all the podcast episodes. And, of course, you're supporting everything I do, okay? And all the content on all the different platforms, not just the podcast, when you become a Patreon supporter. It is greatly appreciated. And I want to thank the Patreon supporters, because your support allowed me to construct this home studio that allows me to broadcast on the radio from my home studio. That we, and it's greatly appreciated. It saves me over an hour each way in the morning. And I think it makes the show better in the mornings, that I don't have to drive so far. I think it makes a big difference. It really does. Yesterday I had that appearance with Attorney Barry Siegel in Boca, and I left when I first got off the air at 9:00, and I still was like 5 or 10 minutes late. It took me an hour and 10 minutes to get there to Boca. And that's how far I live from the radio studio. So thanks so much. And our top Patreon supporters get a live on air thank you shout out on every podcast episode. So the names you will hear now are our top Patreon supporters. I want to thank Andrew and Connie, Christine, ETW, Chuck, D, Pamela, Rick, Nick, Wesley, Macho, Mike P, Carlos, Paulette, John, Heather, David, Maria in Texas, Richard, Alice, K-Mac, LeeZep, Shawna, Constance, George, Brandon, Rob and Trish Wilkerson, Christy R, John S, Frank, and Dale. These are our top Patreon supporters. And if you'd like to become a Patreon supporter, there is a link in the description of every episode and on my YouTube channel. So I wanted to play this, and I'll talk about it. This is crazy. And I mean, this cabinet, it's like a dream cabinet. Here's Pete Hegseth and the Secretary of Defense, and he's talking about an investigation into the Afghan withdrawal. Listen.
Well, it's a question we've thought a lot about. We're doing a complete review of every single aspect of what happened with the botched withdrawal of Afghanistan, and plan to have full accountability. It's one of the first things we announced at the Defense Department for that reason, sir. Certainly, General Steve Kane, who's on his way in, was not a part of that. Instead, was a part of leading the effort against ISIS by untying the hands of warfighters and finishing the job properly, and then bringing our troops home. So we're taking a very different view, obviously, than the previous administration, and there will be full accountability.
I don't see big promotions in that group. And I think they're going to be largely gone. I know the man on my left. I think they're going to be largely gone. That was a horrible display. And, I've dealt with the parents and the family of the 13 that were killed. But, nobody ever talks about the 40 that were so badly hurt with the arms and the legs and the face and the whole thing, the missing arms and legs. It was so terrible the way that was handled.
Yeah. Okay. Now, the Afghan withdrawal, my theory on the Afghan withdrawal, right? Why it happened, how it happened, and all that. I think it was obviously done on purpose for maybe more than two reasons. Well, just let me tell you all the reasons. It might end up being three. One reason is all that equipment that was left behind, the military still need that equipment. So what does that mean? It means that Biden bought all that equipment again for the Pentagon. So the military-industrial complex got paid again for all that equipment. That's one reason that it was left behind. It's not an accident it was left behind. That was all done by design, very much on purpose, and no one could convince me of anything different. Another issue with it is they wanted to hand China Afghanistan, right? We had the base that was 150 miles from Afghanistan, and which was a CIA spies center spying on China, but also the largest lithium deposits for the electric batteries for the cars is in Afghanistan. We discovered that when we took over Afghanistan. They wanted to give it to China. The Biden probably sold it to China. And another thing, leaving the equipment behind also destabilizes the region. And they want a constant state of war, these evil people. Look how hard they're fighting to stop the Ukraine-Russian war from ending, right? They want that to go on forever and ever. They don't want any war to stop. That's just how these people are. They're sick. So, and there's probably other reasons, but those are the three main reasons. These generals are very much responsible, and they will be held accountable, no question about it. But with all that being said, it was done by design. It wasn't an accident. And when it first happened and it was going on, I thought it was Biden's senility. But then after everything cools off and we have a chance to look back, we can see what really happened. Now, this is insane to me. Jake Tapper has a new book out. Have you seen this? It's called Original Sin, and it's got a picture on the cover. It's in black and white of Biden's face with hands over his eyes, and the way the hands are over his eyes is if someone were standing behind him. It's called Original Sin, President Biden's Decline, Its Cover-Up, and His Disastrous Choice to Run Again by Jake Tapper. Now, Jake Tapper, he was one of the people that was covering it up. You didn't have to be some investigative reporter to know that something was wrong with Biden, okay? Everybody knew. You could just see it and you could watch it. It was obvious, okay, that something was wrong with Biden, and he was one of the ones covering it up. And I'm curious about this book. When was it written? When was it written? And, what I mean by that is, did he write this since President Trump won, or did he write it during when everything was going on? There's a lot of things in play here with him, but for him to write a book like this with everything he did to cover it up, and there's a lot of soundbite. I'm not going to play any now because they're all over social media. You've probably, if you haven't seen them yet, you will. He spent the last 4 years covering it up. And now he's writing a book about the decline. This book is almost a confession on Jake Tapper's part that he is guilty of journalistic malpractice and a major cover-up. I'm hoping this will maybe begin a trend, though, so people can actually. I hope his book's successful. And as crazy as that sounds, and the reason I want this Tapper book to be a success is because if it's a success, other people will write similar books, and then people will start talking. So I think it's important for people to talk about Biden's condition and what was going on the last 4 years that they covered up for 4 years, which was incredibly dangerous. We don't really know who was running the country, different staff members, but very dangerous if we were attacked. And we'll get the full story out. And a lot of crime was committed by others running the country that aren't elected. A lot of crime was committed. So I hope it's a success so more people talk about it. And maybe Pam Bondi will look into it. Maybe Kash Patel will investigate some of this because, you know, people were signing orders and pardons and authorizing military actions. Not Biden, people. Each one of those is a crime, and some of them could be murder. Because if they authorized illegally a military action and people were killed, that's murder. I want to tell you guys about Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting and Roofing. He's been with us for many years on the program. He does incredibly good work. He's a good MAGA guy. He covers the entire state of Florida. He works on every type of structure, commercial, municipal, and of course, single family homes. He does a lot of great work with HOAs, both HOAs that are condos and homes. He has a very, very, very special skill set dealing with HOAs and the HOA boards and the condo boards and all of that. He's very good dealing with them. He'll never sell you a roof you do not need. He's a good MAGA guy, and other roofers will sell you a roof even if you don't need it. You just need a simple repair. Not Tom. If you need a repair, he'll do it. He'll tell you. But if you do need a new roof, he'll handle that too. And he can handle the job of any size. If it's a single building or a single family home or a condo or HOA with 350 units, he can handle a job of any size, no matter how small, no matter how large. Now, I'm going to give you both his website and his cell phone number. This is his cell phone number. Every time I give you Tom Laporta's cell phone number, I go to my text messages on my phone. He and I text all the time. We're friends. And I just look at the last text and pull up the number. Because who has anyone's number memorized these days? So you can call or text Tom Laporta. Now, if you go to his website, which is LaportaRoofing.com, at LaportaRoofing.com, the phone number there is the main office number for Laporta Roofing. Okay, it's not his cell phone, which you can call that. But I'd recommend you call or text the owner of the company on his cell phone. It's 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. And also, I want to tell you guys, I got locked out of my ex a couple days ago. And I've had some people tell me that what happened to me has happened to them. And what happened is Mac iOS made me update. And I hate updating. Don't you guys hate updating iOS? I hate it. I always put it off. And then you put it off so long, and then it forces you to do it. And when it rebooted from the update, I got locked out of my ex that I've had for, I don't know, 15 years or more. And I think maybe 13 years I've had this one. And it said there was an unusual login, which occurred with the reboot. So I put in a support ticket. They've gotten back to me twice. It's a very slow process. I don't know when I'm going to be back into that X, if ever. But I have a new one. And so if you could follow me on my new X, it is Brian Craig USA on X. Brian Craig USA on X. All right. So, yeah, I know. It isn't that aggravating. You know, I've never had anything like that happen before. And people tell me all the time, oh, I've been locked out of Facebook. I've been locked out of Twitter. I've never been locked out before, but it's happened this time. And I hope to get back in it. I got a lot of good contacts in there, and a lot of famous people follow me. But Brian Craig USA is my new X, if you could follow me there. All right, Brian Craig USA. This is where MAGA comes to talk.